Crate training. Okay, so this topic is one that has been asked about a lot recently. Quite honestly, because at the moment there's a lot of people moving overseas, and as a result they have to crate their dog so that their dog can take that flight. So that leads me to one of the first questions that I am always asked, and that is it necessary to crate train your dog? The quick answer is no, it's not really necessary, but there is a few different situations where having your dog crate trained is incredibly important. One of the big ones being is if you're having to move overseas and your dog is required to take a flight for that. The airlines do require your dog to be crated so that you can transport them. As a result, your dog being comfortable in that crate is massively beneficial, because the flight's going to be stressful enough. Even if you do flight preparation and crate training in the last 3 to 4, 5, 6 months, it's even more beneficial if your dog is already comfortable in a crate. The other one is if something happens that your dog needs to go to the vet for a prolonged time, having your dog crate trained means that that's going to be one less stress when they are having to be crated in that surgery. There's also a few other ones which I'm sure most people can think about just by common sense, but those are the big ones. The next question that I'm always asked is it too late to train my dog or crate train my dog? It's never too late. Dogs can be trained at any age. Of course, there's certain things that you've got to take into account when you are crate training a dog who's slightly older. You've got to take into account cognitive function, depending on how old they actually are. You've got to take into account mobility. Do they have stiff joints? Do they have issues with mobility or pain, anything like that? These are things you've got to take into account when you're doing the crate training, and of course when you're looking at how you're going to set the crate up. So there's certain issues like that, but generally you can crate train any dog. The next point is quite simply this. I'm asked, how do you crate train the dog? Well, the crate must be a positive area. In fact, even if I'm not crate training a dog, I will still do something which is very, very similar to crate training, and that is giving the dog a safe place. Whether that be their bed, their dog bed, or whether it be a cushion, whether it even be an area of the sofa that the owners have decided that's going to be the dog's spot. Creating that safe place, that place where you can say to your dog to go to that place, to go to that bed, to go to that crate, is very, very important. It's where your dog is going to feel safe, which means that if anything's happening in the house that might be a little bit stressful, whether that be having contractors in, whether that be having guests around, whether it be having children over that are shouting and screaming, whether it be fireworks, it could be absolutely anything. But if your dog has an established safe space, that's going to be a huge benefit. And whether that's a bed or a crate is huge for that dog's well-being and their mental state as well. So that's the overall way of doing it, is to make sure it's positive. Now, what I do plan on doing is doing a few more videos to show you actually how to do the initial stages of crate training, just to make that a little bit easier for people. But that would take an awful long time to do this in one video. So what I will say is this: play crate games so that your dog is knowing that going in and out of the crate is absolutely fine. So that your dog knows that settling in the crate is very important. One of the things that I really like to do when I'm doing it is ensure that the energy level outside of the crate or off of the bed is much higher than that on the bed. Now that doesn't mean that your dog's going to be manic. What it does mean is that when you're putting your dog onto the bed, you're going to be doing a much lower arousal level. You're going to be settling your dog down. Then you'll be able to take them off and increase that energy level again to make it more fun. This is very important so the dog understands not only is it a positive place, but it's a place for relaxation and to settle down. That's going to be the first short video on crate training. What I do intend to do is show you a few other short videos on how to actually start the crate training process. And I feel that that's going to be something that's going to be useful because, as I say, there's a lot of people that are moving overseas, and also if anything were to happen to your dog, that they need to go into the vet for a prolonged length of time, having them crate trained means they're going to be a lot more comfortable if that actually happens. If you get any questions, anything on crate training or anything else for that matter that you would like me to address, don't hesitate to ask in the comments or reach out to us directly. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.